Hi, my name is Nitya, and I'm a freshman from Tesla STEM High School. This is my stock portfolio. So, the stocks that I invested in: Farfetch, an online luxury retail platform; FireEye, a cybersecurity company that prevents major cyber attacks; and Tesla, an electric car company. Farfetch. This was a stock that I
Yeah,
depended
but
on.
I'm sorry to disturb you, but I can't. Your screen is so big, so I cannot see the entire presentation. Is it possible to zoom out?
Oh, yeah. Sorry about that.
That's fine.
Is it better now?
Yeah. So you may want to focus on whatever you're presenting, so I can see all the complete presentation. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you see it
That.
now?
Yeah. That's okay. Yeah.
Okay. Tell me if I need to zoom out a little bit more.
Why don't you just zoom out one more notch, please?
Okay. Is that better?
Yes.
Okay. Sounds good. Um, so Farfetch, this is the stock that I depended on most. I bought about 500 shares at late October at the price of about $28 per share. As you can see to the right, I have a picture of the Farfetch stock, and I got it about late October, which is about $28. If you can see my mouse, that'd be great. So I had about 120% return on investment. And
I'm sorry. Can you just shorten? You have this on your top right-hand side. Can you minimize that so I can see your? Yeah.
is that
Not
better?
not the Zoom link. The Zoom window. Can you minimize that? Yeah. There you go. And just move. If you can move on left-hand side, that would be helpful.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So I have about a grand total of $31,000 from this stock, and which means I made a profit of about $17,000. So why I bought this stock? Number one, it's a online retail platform, meaning that it is not in stores. And during the time of a pandemic, online stores usually limit the number of people, and uh, especially during the holiday season, people tend to purchase a lot of things, and since it's online, that adds up and makes it more necessary to have a platform that will allow you to purchase things online. So Farfetch does all of that. And number two, Farfetch mainly caters to people of high socioeconomic backgrounds, and those people didn't get as significantly affected by the economic downfalls during the pandemic, which means that Farfetch is still able to run and cater to their people. So how did I find out about the stock? I originally did not want to purchase any retail platform stocks, but after doing my research, I realized that Farfetch is something that I should purchase shares in, because it is a retail platform that is based online and has a high socioeconomic background that caters to high socioeconomic people. And I realized that Farfetch is something that will have very minimal decrease. So I decided to purchase Farfetch shares.
And what's the market sector? They are in storage.
They're in fashion.
Okay.
It's a luxury fashion retail platform.
Oh,
That's
awesome.
So the second one is FireEye. This one is a cybersecurity company, and I originally thought this company would be great in purchasing, but after realizing that it had a lot of spikes, up and downs, as you can see to the graph on the right, it has a lot of up and downs, especially towards the end. You can see like that huge spike. I realized I should possibly like sell all my FireEye stocks, especially at the start of 2021. That's when I sold all of my FireEye shares, as I realized that it's too risky to keep these. And I gained about a 40% return on investment. And the reason why I bought FireEye shares from the start was because I realized that cybersecurity is needed the most during a time of a pandemic where people are working online, school is remote, and everything's pretty much just online. So I realized that cybersecurity is very, very important, and FireEye is one of the top companies that help out in cybersecurity. So the third big stock that I got was Tesla. which is an electric car company. So I bought Tesla quite recently. I bought 50 shares this during the past week at start of 2021, and I do not regret that. But what I realized was since I was doing such a short-term investment, I had a high gain money-wise, but I didn't have a high gain percentile-wise. So I realized that having Tesla, which should be a better long-term investment, I realized that's also very, very important. The research that I had done is I realized that considering that car sales had increased, like electric car sales had increased, Tesla is one of the leading electric car uh, companies in the industry. I realized that Tesla is one to buy, like is a stock to buy. So that's why I bought Tesla. And considering that Tesla also isn't just a part of electrical cars, but it's also I'm planning on improving their automation and maybe even creating an automation platform that they can later sell to companies. I realized that this would be like a great long-term stock to buy. So that's why I bought Tesla. So I during the past week I had about a 14% gain in Tesla. So the real question is why are the Tesla stocks so expensive and compared to like other companies like Microsoft? So the answer to this is the Tesla has a lower amount of stocks, meaning that their share value, like their value per share, is extremely high. And companies like Microsoft have a lot of shares, meaning that their share value is quite low. So at the start of this term, I started out with 100K. Now I have a grand total of about 130,000, meaning that I gained about $30,000. So my return investment was about 30%. So you can see here a few graphs that um, the stock market gave me. I had a quite steady increase, but I had a few ups and downs. Same with here, and I like to specifically look at this as this tells me like my return on investment and how I went up and down, but I eventually still had an increase, which is great. So my account holdings, I actually didn't talk about Disney and Netflix that much, but I did consider buying Disney and Netflix a little bit. I only bought a few shares from both. And the reason why I bought these shares is because online entertainment is quite necessary during the time of a pandemic, and that's like a lot of people depends on. So that's why I bought a few of those shares. And the highlighted ones are Farfetch and Tesla. So those are the big ones that I had explained before. So what I learned from investing, and this is what I want to share with you specifically, invest smartly and invest a substantial amount of your money, but invest in stocks that you know are safe and make sure that if you're going to take risks, you have enough assets to take these risks. And aim to invest long term rather than short term. And always remember to check the year to date and or 1 to 6 month chart instead of checking the date on a daily basis. As checking on a daily basis kind of stresses you out because the stocks tend to fluctuate a lot. So this will obviously stress you out a lot because of the fluctuating. So it's better to always check on a year to date or a 1 to 6 month charts because those are always showing the long-term growth rather than short-term. And then always remember to do your research and avoid relying on websites such as investing websites because those are often opinion-based and biased. Instead, focus on news articles that tell you what those companies that you want to invest in are currently doing and are planning on doing in the future. So I want to end off by saying 4 reasons why you should give me an additional 100K in the next term. Number 1, I'll invest smartly, make you a profit, and keep your money safe. Number 2, I will maintain a diversified portfolio. Number 3, I will do the right research. And number 4, you will notice a growth in your assets. Thank you.
Okay. So you had Farfetch, Tesla, FireEye. Those are the three companies, right? You
Those
invested?
are the 3 main ones, yeah. And then
And,
Disney and Netflix, a few of those.
okay. And do you think your portfolio is diverse enough?
I do think that my portfolio is quite diverse because I decided to invest in Tesla because Tesla is an electric car company. Then on the other hand, I have Farfetch, which is a fashion industry company, and then I have Netflix, which is entertainment, Disney, which is also entertainment, but then I have FireEye, which is cybersecurity. So I go in all different backgrounds.
So Farfetch, do you think there is a potential to go up?
Actually, I do think there is more potential for it to go up. Since I had a 120% return on investment, I do
Yeah.
think that it can have a higher increase in the future because considering that we're still in the pandemic, online shopping is most feasible during this time, and Farfetch is really catering to a background that isn't experiencing that much economic instability, and they're still able to afford these products. So I think that they will still grow quite a bit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. So you got 30% decent investment, right? Now,
Yes.
did you have any money which you did not invest, or
I
you
had
invest?
usually I had about like 20,000 that I didn't invest because I always wanted to be on the safe side just in case I would have a huge downfall in the stocks. I wanted to always have the extra backup money so that I can still invest that money in like more safer stocks in the future.
Mm-hmm. What kind of investor you are? A conservative, moderate, or risk taker?
Oh, can you repeat that?
What kind of investor you are? Moderate, conservative, or risk taker?
I would say I'm between a risk taker and moderative because I didn't really conserve a lot of the money. I decided to invest majority of it, but I still didn't take too many risks. I could have taken more risks. I could have like just kept 5,000 without like 5,000 not in the stocks, just 5,000 aside. But instead I kept 20,000 to be a bit more safe. So I think I'd be between risk taker and
Hmm?
moderative.
Did you sell all your equity before this presentation, or you still have it?
I actually sold all my Farfetch and it actually fell right after that. So I do feel grateful for that. But the reason why I sold all my Farfetch is because I thought that I should invest more in Tesla. So I was like trying to get more Tesla, but then the weekend came by, so I couldn't get any more Tesla. But I want to get more Tesla because I realized that if I wait for Tesla to have a more long-term growth, it will be higher than Farfetch.
Do you think Tesla's growth is justifiable? I mean, look at it, the company. I mean, when you look at the hype it has created,
Mhm.
do you think it's sustainable?
It depends because it can be sustainable to a to a certain extent in which, considering their automation levels and everything. But there's also news that can also kind of discourage that because I was even looking at Tesla this morning and after hours it had decreased by $12. That might have been because of Elon Musk giving the news about uh, buying this other, like using this other platform for texting rather than using WhatsApp or things like that. So it might be because of that, because that was like false information sort of thing. But I think that Tesla overall still has a big potential. But honestly, I feel the same way about Farfetch, and I think that they're like both equal.
Yeah. Do you have any question for me?
What stocks do you think are best to invest in, and how do you think I should invest if I were to get an additional 100K in the next term? How do you think I should invest a bit more sustainably?
Yeah, I mean, I like your investment style between moderate and aggressive. To me, that's how it should be. Again, this is my personal opinion. But I'm not a big believer, let's just follow others, that everybody's buying Tesla, Amazon, Apple, let's just go and buy it. So that definitely, if I have to give you $100,000, I'll say that let's not do that. Like Farfetch, to me, that was the best investment. I love it. I never heard about this company. It came out from nowhere, and I'm going to do some research on my own. So this is good. But I would also advise you not to invest in a pandemic specific or seasonal. Seasonal is the wrong word, but let's say right now everybody wants to invest in, let's say, pandemic specific, and then what's going to happen once pandemic's over. So I think that also one has to evaluate. As far as your environmental friendly portfolio, I'm still not seeing that, but I do want you to look into it, research it.
Mhm.
As far as the specific tip, I, I don't give that, but I would definitely balance it out like 20 or 30% stocks in since you're a beginner in Berkshire Hathaway, uh, because that company takes risk on different. That company has a portfolio starting from bank company finance. I mean, they are spread out everywhere: insurance, finance, and technology, right? So I could advise you, let's just buy some Berkshire Hathaway class B, and then after that, do a little bit more research on technology, banking, finance company. I'm surprised that this is the third company. This is the third team I'm participating, and nobody wants to invest in finance company because that can come out very big way also in next few months or couple of years. Okay, but that's my opinion. I could be wrong.
I'll look into those for sure.
Okay.
Thank you so much
All right.
for this.
All right. Thank you so much. Take care.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.